Are we on?
We're rolling.
Yeah, this is where Brian and I first met.
Right here.
We were both like 5'3", sophomores in high school.
We ran cross country and track, we practiced hard, and we worked at the running store, and we just totally became shoe nerds.
Runner's Corner.
Where the run begins. Starting a shoe company is really stupid. You should never do it.
Don't recommend it. Don't recommend it.
100% not recommended. Right here, we had this would have been the part of the shoe room where the what we called the zeroed out shoes.
The zeroed shoes.
Yeah.
You know, we started really kind of honing in on how people ran and also how shoes affected the way people ran. One of the really unique things that we would do is we would wide lace the shoe, where we, instead of crisscrossing across the forefoot, we would actually go up widthwise, and it would create a lot of space. And we just really would preach the story of being able to allow your toes to be able to relax and splay.
It just got to the point where you show up at a local road race and almost half of the people on the starting line had their shoes, you know, with the lacing skipped open in the front half of the shoe. The legend is actually that I ran before I walked. My parents were race directors when I was young. My dad worked in the running industry. I've been surrounded by shoes and running, you know, basically my whole life.
We would see people running barefoot on grass and say, that's how you should run. But then we'd put shoes on them on concrete and they would run differently.
It's frustrating because we teach everybody a lesson on how to run, and then we sell them a pair of shoes that appear to be undoing everything we're teaching them.
Golden decided, I don't know what inspired him that day, but at some point in time, he just said, I wonder if I could just hack off the heel.
My dad, and I say, like, okay, I want to do this with the shoes. And he's like, yeah, $275, you know, wait till the glue bubbles.
And so that's what Golden did, and took a knife and hacked off the shoe, the heel of the shoe.
You know, I melted the laces and like the TPU overlays were a little bit melted. But for the first time in my life, I'm wearing a normal filling running shoe, and I don't feel like the shoe is messing with the way I'm running. Really, like, light bulb moment for me is like, oh my gosh, it works.
And he called me up a couple days after and said, dude, Brian, you'd never believe what I did to my shoe.
I feel like I'm running barefoot on grass even when I'm on the pavement. I feel smooth, I feel fast, I feel stable, I feel powerful, I feel in control. Like, right after pulling that shoe out of the toaster, still warm from the toaster oven.
It changed the entire running experience for me. And after that, it was just off to the races.
Next thing you know, this thing like spirals out of control, and we've got, you know, people coming in the door daily asking for the hacked up shoes or the modified shoes, or eventually what became the zero drop shoes.
We would actually sell them a brand new unmodified pair, and we would send them to a shoe cobbler across the street.
Go in the back room. We
Yeah,
talk back
absolutely.
He's used to adding things to shoes, so he's looking at me like, why, you know, why would you take stuff out of a shoe? And I explained it to him, and you know, he agrees to do it.
So we are selling people brand new shoes and sending them across the street to spend $20 on a shoe cobbler to hack up this brand new pair of shoes that they just spent. And in basically the year of 2009, that shoe cobbler modified about 1,000 pairs of shoes.
There for a time, yeah, we were doing them every day. You know, some days 2 or 3 pair, sometimes, you know, more than that.
And so we started scheming how to get the brands to build us the shoes that we wanted. And a couple of the brands were nice, and a couple of the brands were actually quite mean.
To have all these shoe companies that I just grew up adoring say, like, yeah, we don't really care about that. That was really hard to hear.
That was our last ditch effort. If we don't do this, then nobody else will. So I went to my dad and just said, you know, Dad, do you know of anybody? I was looking just for references, like who in the neighborhood, do you have any friends, who could I go and approach that would be appropriate? And he came back a week later with a check, and sorry. You know, he looked me in the eye and just said, this is your inheritance. So if you don't pay me back, you'll get nothing when I die. But it was a pretty cool moment. At this point, I'd quit my job. I hadn't had a paycheck in 6 months. I just mortgaged my dad's house, and we were starting to feel some pressure. Like, we've got to launch this brand. We've got to get it out there. And there was also another entire group of people that wanted something different in their running experience. The more you run, the longer you go, the more those features really showcase themselves.